Hey, what's going on YouTube? Hey, welcome to Coffee Shop Chatter, and I am Mr. Controversy. So today, I'm, I'm going to kind of cover this little speech that former President Obama did addressing black men. My question is why he didn't address all men? Why he didn't call out white men? Why he just calling out black men? Because if he would have called out white men, it wouldn't have went the way it would not have gone the way they wanted it to go. I'm gonna say again, it would not have gone the way he wanted it to go, or they wanted it to go. And I say that because if you listen to the way how he talked to black men, he's gonna get away with it. One, most of us don't give a damn. You can't. You're most real men aren't swayed by us. No one's gonna make us do what we don't want to do. So yeah, you have the guys out there who are voting because of the way their wives are making them vote. Hell, you got women telling other women if your husband don't vote the way you vote to divorce him. Like this country has really fallen off bad. But before you get started, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I can't remember what side it's on, but either way, hit the subscribe button. At the end, just comment what you think. You know, I definitely want people's feedback on this. Whether you black, white, Hispanic, Indian, Jewish, whatever you identify, whatever your ethnicity is, you know, I would like to hear what you have to say about this. So yeah, so we're gonna just go ahead and jump into this BS real quick.
I'm going to go ahead and just speak some truths, if you don't mind. Because my understanding, based on reports I'm getting from campaigns and communities, is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly and say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences, who's had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land and is putting forward concrete proposals to directly address the things that are vital in our neighborhoods and our communities, from housing to making sure that our mothers and our fathers and our grandparents can afford medicine, and making sure that we are dealing with prices that are too high and rents that are too high.
So I just had to pause it there. Now I'm not gonna let him just try to slide that shit in about her policies. What policies did she put out? Like, let's be real. What policies did Vice President Harris put out addressing any of the issues that we're having? You ask her about the economy. First thing come out her mouth. Well, I was brought up by a single mother, my sister and I, and we grew up in an apartment above, above a daycare. And the lady, she was like my second mom. And so I really care about small business owners. What the hell does that have to do with the damn price of tea in China? She has never answered a question. She always has to have a teleprompter just to speak. She cannot convey her thoughts without it. You seen that when her teleprompter froze up on her. Only thing she could say is 32 days because she didn't have nothing to read. You could see the actual panicking on her face because she was getting worried because she wasn't sure it was going to come back on because she cannot speak without it. Nor does she address any questions that's asked. But I'm going to go ahead and let this BS keep rolling.
And is committed to making sure that we maintain the Affordable Care Act. So everybody's got health care and cares about things like education and entrepreneurship in our neighborhoods. And that's on one side. And on the other side, you have someone who has consistently shown disregard, not just for the communities, but for you as a person. And you're thinking about sitting out? But, because Pookie might be. And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that. Because part of it makes me think, I'm speaking to men directly now, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. And I think anybody you are talking to in a barbershop, anybody you are talking to in your house, in your family, at a church, who is coming with that kind of attitude, I think you have to ask them, well, how can that be? Because the women in our lives have been getting our backs this entire time. They've been raising us and working and having our backs. And when we get in trouble, when the system's not working for us, they're the ones who are out there marching and protesting. And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is, putting women down. That's not acceptable. This shouldn't even be a question.
So this is what happens when you have households. Obama was raised by his grandma. All those, I guess I want to say, so-called men that were in the back, that were sitting there, yes, sir, yep, you sure right, acting like that. I guarantee you, they were raised by a single mother. I just know they were. I know they were. And being because that's how they were raised, they used to women leading their house. Just like I'm pretty sure Michelle runs that house. She runs what goes on in the house. And they're so quick to always say, what has what has Trump done for black people? Well, I'll ask him. It's a question I like to ask him. In his 4 years that he was there as president of the United States, what did he do for us? Because that's what he was hinting at. What did he do for black people? Nothing. But he did something for the LGBTQ community, just like the Biden-Harris administration. The Biden-Harris administration also did something for the Asian community, funding-wise. I'm going to let you figure that out for yourself. Because he signed an executive order giving a whole lot of money for businesses. But again, he didn't do anything. And the problem is, like I said, we don't have strong men. You have too many men that was raised by a single mother that their father wasn't there, or there was no positive role model, a grandfather, who was strict and stern on them, told his mama stop babying that boy, type those type of men. You don't have those. Nowadays, you got these so-called men that bow down to women in a heartbeat. They're worried about a woman's choice over everything else that's going on in this country. The woman's right to delete a baby is more important than the economy, healthcare, the border, inflation, jobs, companies shutting down, companies moving abroad. That one thing seems to carry more weight than all that. Do I think women should have the right to make choices? Yeah. But I don't think the government should have nothing to do with it. Like I said, I've always said, I personally believe it should be a state thing, because you dumbasses, you vote down at your state level. So if you're voting at your state level and you know who's willing to back what you want, that's who you vote for. It's literally, it's not that damn hard. You vote for the person who's in your best interest at the state level. Just like crime. You got judges who's just, they doing catch and release. You got AGs, catch and release, and they're not issuing out no harsh sentences. You don't vote those same people back in those positions. You put somebody else in there. But some of you people, like the ones in New York, California, Detroit, where you have AGs who's letting these illegal immigrants do what the hell they want to do, no bail. You catch them, they bring them in, they do their little paperwork, and they put them right back out on the street. They go to another state and just commit crimes there. That's what this country has come to. Because people don't have common sense. People are voting off of emotions versus using whatever somewhat intelligence God may have given them to vote for the right thing. That's what I don't get. But yet, you want to cry and moan, bitch and gripe because you talk, Trump, he's a felon. How many you out there felons right now complain that you can't get a damn job because you feel you being discriminated against? First thing come out your mouth is, I did my time. I have no problem with felons get a job. I think they should be able to get a job. But some of you don't even know, even some inmates in certain states are allowed to vote through absentee ballot. They actually mail in the ballot. Just go ahead and Google it. Look it up. Because some of you think you're so smart, but you're not. You don't research anything. You listen to everything that MSNBC tell you, everything CBS tell you, everything ABC tell you. I'll go as far even as Fox News. At least Fox News is somewhat neutral, a little bit. But they have to kind of defend Trump sometimes because everybody else, every other news station is against him. So if you want to know what he did while he was in there for the people, I'm going to tell you what. Hop your ass over to this federal registry. You can pull up every president's executive order. And I'm just going down to Trump from 2017 all the way up to 2021. You can go to Obama, 09 to 17. You can see every executive order that he put in place. And if you look at, literally, you look at Trump, he has some damn good executive orders. But then what you need to do is do your due diligence and then look at President Biden's executive orders that he rescinded that belonged to former President Trump. The border rescinded. Funding for small businesses. He actually had an executive order that dealt with small businesses. Rescinded. And if you don't know what rescinded means, it means he pulled it back. It was killed off. Hence is why the border is wide open. Hence is why we have all these illegal immigrants just coming through. Hence is why you have states like Chicago going broke, New York going broke, Colorado having issues. They about to go broke. They got issues with the damn Venezuela gang. New York, same thing. They tried it in Texas. It didn't work out the way they thought it was going to work out. And that was recent. So all I say is, I always tell people, you vote for who you want to vote to, vote for, but at some point, you got to use some fucking common sense. If you think neither one is worth voting for, I think West is still on there. You can vote for him. Or you can just stay home and don't vote for nobody. This is like, I'm sitting this one out. I'm going to let y'all have it. I'm not sitting it out because I know, based off of what I've heard, whose website I went to, the actual pattern of work. I look at their resume. I look at Trump's 4 years versus this last 4 years. I have no problem buying groceries. I have no problem paying my bills. I'm not one of those people. But there's a whole bunch of you that do. There's a whole bunch of you women definitely do because y'all lead in the evictions. Mainly black women. Look that up. Statistically, black women leads in evictions. I'm in Texas. Houston is, y'all killing it. Y'all are killing it. Getting booted the hell up out of where you live at. And then whining because you can't make it. Look at people in Florida struggling. I can't go nowhere. They had to stay there at the hurricane, which it sucks. Now, if there are people who actually save their money doing the right thing and still couldn't leave because gas and all that stuff, they ain't had nowhere to go, they couldn't pay for the hotel. Understandable. I would recommend it's like, hey, still leave. If it's just you by yourself, man, sleep in your car. Because you staying in your dwelling makes no sense. It's going to get torn down. You ain't going to have no electric. You ain't going to have no water. And you lost your vehicle. But at least if you left and went either further west, or actually further east, or a little bit northeast to get out that funnel, your car would have got wet. Hey, I slept in military vehicles for fucking days at a damn time, parked on the side of the damn road. It is not that hard. And then try doing that with like 2 or 3 other people, all you in one truck, all in the front seat, because it's a one cab vehicle. But you're struggling and you're voting against your very own best interest. One, because you want to delete babies. Okay, keep your legs closed, option 1. Option 2, it's this thing called birth control. Option 3, it's, hey, no glove, no love. If they don't put a condom on, you just don't give none. Option 4, you got the freaking implant. Dude, there are so many, there's well over 30 different ways to prevent you from getting pregnant. But for some reason, you want to use putting a hit out on an unborn child as your way of birth control. And that's what you're doing. There's some of you women that probably had 2 or 3 of them. You ain't going to say nothing. But I'm pretty sure if people records were allowed to be available, or they was able to print out a chart and it was publicized. Yeah, some of you probably had 2 or 3 of them. But hey, that's all I got. Like I said, just tell me what you think about this whole thing with Obama. If you lasted this long to the end of the video, like I said, just subscribe to the channel, like the video. It just gets in the algorithm. Comment if you disagree. Hey, disagree. If your comment don't show up, I'm telling you, YouTube, they're not going to public. They're not going to. If you go, what I call off the reservation, with your vocabulary, because you got in your feelings, and it's more like because your daddy was in loud and he didn't teach you how to control your emotions and articulate your thoughts. YouTube they will not publish your comment. I'm just letting you know in advance. But that's all I got. Hey, y'all have a good night, and I'll see you around.